everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is your host, Travis, and we are doing an interesting kind of experiment today. We're experimenting with Enchantment Sagas. Specifically, we took almost all of the ones that we had in the deck, or actually in our collection, and threw them together into one deck. And as with everything, it's not 100% because we have Vorinclex to worry about here, right? And if we get a single Vorinclex that we face, he's going to shut us down because the lore counters are what go on the Enchantment Sagas. When the opponent has a Vorinclex down, they only get to put half that many kinds of counters on any kind of permanent that's rounded down. So one lore counter gets cut in half to half a counter and then rounded down to 0 counter. So we can't use something like Elspeth Conquers Death to get rid of Vorinclex. So, this is what we got. We've got a big variety of collection of different lands. Here's the overview. 6 creatures. Most of the rest are the Enchantment Sagas themselves at 27, and 28 lands. Total of 66 cards. And we went with a little bit more than usual number of lands just because we need to have all 5 colors in here. And here's what we have. We have 1 copy of Flicker of Fate to exile a particular enchantment and maybe bring it back and use it again. 2 Birth of Meletus to help us get the white. 1 Madome's Prophecy. 4 copies of Arnie Slays the Troll so we can have creatures fight other creatures. 1 Search for Glory. This allows us to search for any one particular Enchantment Saga card that we might want and put it into our hand at any given time. 1 copy Elspeth's Nightmare to look at their hand and exile the graveyard. 1 copy of the Triumph of Anax, again, sort of related to Arnie Slays the Troll because it ends up with a creature that we control fighting up to another creature. 1 copy of the first Iron Games to give me a little creature token and then pump it up. 1 copy of Raven's Warning that gives us a bird, gives us a little life, lets us look at the opponent's hand, and bring a card from outside the graveyard, outside the game. And that leads me to the graveyard. We've got a Light of Hope to destroy their enchantments. A Knoll was a counter. Stormwild Caprador, a nice little bird goat creature. I'm going to have him in a whole completely different deck at some point. 1 Bonecrusher Giant. 1 Extinction Event. 1 Polyukranos, and 1 Iron Scale Hydra. So, that's the sideboard that we can dip into. Moving on, King Narfi's Betrayal, where we can mill 4 cards for each player, then we get to exile one of their creature or planeswalker cards, and then we can cast it over for the next couple of turns. Bloody Massacre to give us another Demon Berserker token. This is kind of why we don't have quite so many creatures. We try and have some, but the Enchantment Sagas give us some creature tokens, and that's going to have to be enough. Battle for Bretagard, where we get a Human Warrior token, an Elf Warrior token. And then we get to copy all the tokens that we might have on board. Now, by this time, the enemy might have destroyed everything on our battlefield, so we're not counting on it. Fall of the Imposter puts counters on any creatures and exiles the opponent's target creature. It's the greatest power. 2 Crystalline Giants. This is the one of the few things that's not an Enchantment Saga. 1 Eradicator Valkyrie to give us hexproof from planeswalkers and flying, and maybe allow us to sacrifice one of our little token creatures against one of their bigger creatures. Fridge's Retribution to give us an Angel Warrior, another thing for flight, and also we get to destroy a target creature with power less than the 4/4 Flying Angel, and then if she survives for 1 more turn, she gets Double Strike. The Trickster God's Heist, this is another thing where I want to take one of my lower little counter tokens and maybe exchange for something better that my opponent has. 1 copy of Binding the Old Gods. This will help us get the forest out if we might need another one. Showdown of the Scalds. This has been a pretty popular card, actually, for the red-white combinations. 2 copies of Doomscar for board wipes. 4 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death to exile targets. And 1 copy of the Indestructible Goblin Brash Taunter that can fight larger opponents, hopefully, and deal that damage to our opponent instead. Over on the heavy mana front, the big spells we have, Wingfold Terran, we can get them either flying or hexproof. 2 copies of Kiribes the Sea God. one spined Megalodon with hexproof, and one chromatic worry to help us with our color problems we will inevitably have. Should we last so long, it's fun to use this card. That's the deck. We're going to take it out for a spin and see how it works. I'm going to see if I like it. We're going to see if you like it. If you like it, hit the like button, would you? Thanks. Okay, we're going to have an interesting time of it with all of these different lands, trying to make sure that we get the right colors that we're going to need. Alright, out of the choices that we have, since we have white already, let's choose the black one for this one, but we'll still go get another plains. You kind of don't like to see this kind of card at the very beginning of your hand. It's going to take a while. You just have to hope that you have that time. Alright. Let's not wait. Let's go ahead. We have the black mana, so let's get one blue mana and play a card rather than just play the planes they already know we have. That gives us the bird. Let's see if they want to waste removal or not. No, they don't want to waste it on the bird. Okay. We'll take the life. We'll go fly over and hit him for one. Yay! We get to see your hand. We get to see what you got. A green dragon. Gross. Migratory Greathorn and a Terragrid Grot of Fright. Alright, what are we going to need to do to take care of that? I guess we'll get rid of the land we know they have. As much as I need a green, I also need a red. You went for the lantern, did you? Nothing wrong with that. Most people do. Most people are afraid of removal. What you do is you tap the lantern and you use it. There you go. We'll just lose some life. We don't mind losing some life. Alright, a card from outside the game. We don't have the double green that I'd want for Iron Scale Hydra. We can get the green for Tpull Ukrainos. But you know what? I do like the idea of... What do we have here? Creatures? Creatures? Creatures, creatures galore. Let me get that one. Okay, next... Let's get rid of the lantern. And hit him for one. We're winning! Yay, look at our life points. That means everything. Now, how did I know there might be a Scoot Swarm involved in all this? He doesn't put the Greathorn out, though. Interesting choice. I'm stalling on this one because I'm still hoping to get another blue source so I can keep that as green. So there's my 6. This is odd mana. The rest of these are even. So I'm basically counting on him to use the Greathorn on the existing main guy to change it from odd to even. so my extinction event works on everybody. Wait for him to go find his land. Then he gets his duplicates. So pretty. Then he gets his other duplicates. We go get a chump blocker. We use said chump blocker. We wait an incredibly long amount of time, even though he's used most of his mana and already attacked. Scratch, irritate his own dragon. Feed our bear. Dude, oh, it's our turn finally. How about that? He's so generous. Alright, we could wipe everything. Then he'll put down a dragon. What I kind of like the idea of doing is no matter what he does, he's not going to get past the Kraken. Boop! Still winning, 21-17. That's the big important thing. The fact that I have more life points than him at any one given time. Nothing else matters. Not how many creatures he has. Not that he could kill me in one hit. He did it. I can't believe he did it. I can't believe he did that. Can't do that. Okay, all your stuff gets tapped. What else do I want to do? I can scry too. Green source mana, don't want to turn that away. Trickster God's Heist. I like that. None of those untapped, by the way. You need another creature on the ground. Not a problem for this guy. Look at all those blockers. All that life. He's got more life than me now. Does that mean he's winning? Uh-oh. I don't get to take any of his stuff. I don't get to take any of his stuff either. What card are we going to play next? We're probably going to play Spine to Megalodon. Yeah. Say goodbye to all your toys. I'll give you another land, though. Isn't that funny? After all that massive mob, that really came just from 5 cards total so far. Got another 91 to go. That's a lot. Surely there's a basic land there inside the 91 you can find. Did you only have 9 lands in your deck? Is it that hard to find one more? We'll wait. I'll go feed the bear again. Are you still hungry? Why is the bear looking up at me like that? Yeah, waving. Yeah, I just fed you. Don't beg. It's not becoming of you. This guy said good game. Was that a premature good game, like he thought he was going to win and the game was over good game? And then I took away all his toys? Is he roping me now? Are you pouting? I think he's pouting, ladies and gentlemen. He found a land. That looked like he flipped me off, though, just then. That looked like he was being rude. There's growth. Sweet! He used all his land already. Not bad. Alright, we finally have a green source. We have our expiring Megalodon. We got our 2 extra cards from Adomi's Prophecy. And he's got Death Touch. So if we block, he could kill us. He didn't attack. Interesting choice. Okay, so we've got this. He no longer has Death Touch. We now have the right mana for this to fight. Goodbye. Next, attack! Do we need more land? We finally don't, actually. It worked out great for us this time around. And how about a chump blocker in case he has someone with haste? Hopefully he doesn't have that Cragplate Ballot guy. He's got enough mana, he could send him out, make him a 10/10 haste with trample. That would be gross. Ugin. He's got an Ugin.
I come bearing the wisdom. Do not ignore my tranquil.
You didn't want to do the 7, huh? How many Ugins you got in this deck? Let's see. Add 2 counters. That looks pretty good. Let's show him what we think of his Ugin. Yeah.
Has never stopped me.
Yeah, it stops you this time. Let's put down our Brax Taunter. Now we say good game. That's how you do a good game, sir. Have a nice day. Enchantment Sagas 1-0. Alright, I like the way that looks, actually. Let's see, we need to play that one later. And we need kind of everything, don't we? Well, let's start with the plains. Autopay! Save that land! Look at me, I'm an environmentalist. Save the land! That's all he talks about. That's right. In the beginning, especially for a 5-color deck, I'm all about the land. Kind of like the way this is shaping up. Mostly because my opponent hasn't played anything else yet. We're just basically setting up our defenses, setting the stage, expecting calamity to ensue later. We're just making sure all the pieces are in place for it. With Archway Commons, we're not worried about the double color need anymore, but we do need to get one of each color, at least. So there's the mountain we'll need for Arnie the Troll. Let's see. Do I use it? Do I hold it? What's the phrase? Use it or lose it? That only works for tokens. And nothing else gives me a token right now. Okay. I have a choice to make between Kiora and Eradicator Valkyrie. I'm gonna go with Eradicator Valkyrie. They might have a board wipe. But if they put down a creature, I can sacrifice a 1/1 token. In the meantime, that gives me a creature to use with Arnie Slays the Troll as well. If this is Emergent Ultimatum deck, this is usually where everything hits the fan. But that's why I've got Doomscar out and ready. We waited a long time for that. I feel a little underwhelmed for some reason. Still got 4 full cards. Plenty of mana to do something. Okay, choose any number of artifact tokens. How about those 3? Look at all that stuff! That is awesome. Working on Kiora now. We can do Kiora, but he might have a board wipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack with these guys. And then we're going to sacrifice. We've got a token artifact creature wall and a token artifact creature wall. I think we'll sacrifice one of you to get rid of the angel. Angel, meet wall. Wall, meet angel. Together in sacrifice. I hope you make some beauty happen. We're going to keep Kiora as emergency reserve. If this were turn 4 or 5 or 6, Leonin War Leader might have been a problem. might have been imposing. But if he doesn't have removal, or any way to stop the Eradicator Valkyrie, we're going to do the exact same thing all over again. Okay, let's see. We'll go ahead and get another swamp. We'll attack with everybody. We will sacrifice yet another wall. It will be done. Enchantment Sagas wins again. 2 in a row. I'm liking this deck. My opponent is Storm. Is this Storm of the X-Men or somebody else? Does Storm play Magic games? Okay, we start with the solid choice, the single choice. We go with the other solid choice. We go with the one we have duplicates of. And then we'd go with the one to get the other color. Now we just need a black source. And if we come up dry with Madomi's Prophecy, we have Raven's Warning that we can label for the card. So we'll go ahead and scry. And we will take both of those. It's a little slow to be drawing nothing but land for a couple more turns. But let's go ahead and tell them, let's see, we'll be able to draw this one next as well. So do we want to do Raven's Warning? Probably. That's probably the one we're gonna want. So it's the Raven's Warning. And let's see, we can do this one now. Kept the mana open for Flicker of Fate if we need to. We can't flicker our token. That won't help anything. We can flicker him so that he doesn't get all the glitters. We've done quite enough damage already, thank you very much. Alright, Raven's Warning. We said we'd cast it, we're gonna cast it. Next, put the archway down, pay for it. That's the only chance we get. Didn't get to use our Berserker token. Question is nuts. Can't block with the Raven. Ah, he gets all the damage. Also nice. That's a lot of damage. We're not gonna get the card from outside the game right away. So we're gonna have to get rid of this guy now. And is there anything left that we can do? No, because we got too much land. And they've got enough to kill us. So maybe it was a mistake when I tried to accept the 2 land. He's got another question piece. On the other hand, it looks like he had just enough mana to use up his entire. I'm not sure that we would have had any chance to do anything against that. The one drawback with the Enchantment Sagas is they can be kind of slow. Yes? First it was Storm, then it was Dracula. In Marvel Comics, Dracula did bite Storm once. I wonder if these people know each other. This one's going to hold me up for a while. Okay, we'll start with the World Tree, I guess. Prep for the evilness that is going to come our way from the death and dark destructive forces of Dracula. There's that Dracula. Yeah. Okay, let's get a different color out. This one's a duplicate color right now. So we'll skip the red. We don't have anybody to exchange control of right this second. Looks like a pest deck, probably. I don't want to use Doomscar right now. I feel like I want to give them more rope. And then I can Doomscar them with... Gross. Veto kind of changes the story. That gets us too far different in the life differential. Let's see, so we need one more planes to do that. And a Doomscar, so let's do the Doomscar now. Kind of good to actually make him use the Plump the Forbidden now rather than when he was going to hold it for later. But that does give him a lot of resources all of a sudden. Okay. We don't have the red that I want. It's easy to get the second blue. Let's go ahead and do that. That gives us every color with World Tree now, right? Okay, they might have removal, but we can't just sit here and do nothing but play lands all day long. Okay, now that we have the World Tree, we can actually do this after all. Okay, that forces that. Kind of ruins 2 Enchantment Sagas at once, though, doesn't it? But he saw he was tapped out, so he took it. He likes that those have been spoiled. Will he like this? Because that's what we've been setting up for the whole time. It helps if you've played chess before, because you don't want to think one move ahead or two moves ahead. You actually want to think 3 moves ahead. Sometimes it's harder to do that when you're going against the red-white aggro decks, whether it's angels and clerics or knights or the goblins. Maybe the elves these days are also fast. But if you don't have to worry about a 4-turn kill, it pays to plan ahead. I'm not worried about a board wipe because he doesn't have snowlands. I'm not worried about him exiling one of my cards. I have to discard a card, huh? Alright. Alright. We finally get a turn. We're going to take... Which one of these? We're going to take that one. We're going to... That's the Conqueror's Death, that one. We're going to attack with those two. I guess we'll take that. And does he have enough to take us out? We got as close as we could. 4 life. There goes one of our points. There goes one more. He had it. He had another Plumb the Forbidden. He got 3 of them out that quick. That was close. Well, I made the wrong choice in the last match. I should have taken one other creature as my permanent and used Elspeth Conqueror's Death on a different one. So I have only myself to blame for all of that. I have 4 pathways. Lots of choices. We'll start with the blue, I guess. That kind of determines things. I'm foregoing all of my white mana so I can cast the other cards soon. Alright. Get rid of the immediate threat. Interesting choice. We don't see him much. I like getting rid of Dramatic Finale. What else do we have up there? Callous Blood Mage, Moonrest Cleric, Arrogant Poet. Not sure what to make of that. But he doesn't have removal, does he? So this should be safe. Trying to make sense of his deck. I have not seen its configuration before. It looks like a loose collection of cute creatures. Okay, does it matter what color that becomes? I don't think it does too much. What kind of choices do we have here? Let's do this. That is an acceptable choice. Need to save my 4/4. So I can. Well, I got the draw 2 cards already. Okay, they have to reveal the enchantment, so at least we get an idea of what we're up against. You chose nothing. You don't have a single enchantment you wanted to bring out. What is going on with this deck? Alright. They can block me with just a couple. How do I want to do this? I don't really want to... Do I want to give up everybody? Let's go ahead and scry. Okay, we'll take both of those. We're gonna need another source of white mana. Let's see. 2, 3. They're the most powerful one, so they can't kill my token. I keep waiting for some trick or some shoe to drop with this deck. With me with 5 colors and all these expensive cards, 3 of which I'm not going to be able to cast still, you would think that I'd be having the greater problems with being slow. But with the first land tapped, the second land tapped, they did not have things work out well for them in the order of the lands, and we're already out of forests. Did I not include a regular forest in the whole thing? Thought I did. Okay, let's see. The card that we want to play next turn is going to be... Fall of the Imposter. Because this turn, we're going to play Brash Taunter. We're going to put down this land. That'll be our first source of white mana. And he's going to either block and kill us with 2. There you go. I'm okay with getting rid of all the features. Gets rid of half a dozen so far. We will fight. Alright, next, more land. Fall of the Imposter, so I can get my 2 card draw. And the giant in gets flying, lovely. And if he doesn't know any better, he's gonna block. Still takes a point. Lost his creature. He's got more small creatures. Ooh, he's got a Liliana coming up. Interesting. Well, why is it acting like... Get rid of you. Lifelink. Gotta love it. Got to love it. All of our land problems are now over. We have every color we could possibly want.
This battle is going to end on my terms.
You can get rid of one of my guys, but not both.
Embrace you.
Ta-da! That's our programming for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining Tpull's Corner. We're going to wrap this up, talk about the different sagas that we have. We didn't have every saga in the world yet. This is most of what we had. There were just a couple of others that didn't quite fit in with the deck for one reason or other. I'm not going to go through those now, but I did want to remind you that we're in the middle of a theme week of enchantments, and it's going pretty well, I think. We started with different decks that had mostly enchantments in them. Tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to finish this off going in the completely opposite direction. We're going to show you a deck that assumes that we're going up against a bunch of enchantments and is decked to the gills with anti-enchantment spells. And the name of the deck is called We Hate Enchantments. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. In the meantime, if you like what we've been putting out, please hit the like button. If you haven't gotten the subscriber button hit yet, go ahead and consider doing that, because we are doing regular programming, just like a television show, every single day. And you know what? I think that we're getting better, and you're not going to want to miss the next episode. So, if you subscribe, you'll get notified when I put some new stuff out. Other than that, I'll just say thanks for joining us. Have a good one, and tune in next time, because there's always going to be another new deck right around the corner.